trails less traveled are the ones I cherish the most. And Oregon has a bounty of those places to choose from, especially this time of year, prime time with a springtime warm-up. Hi there, I'm Grant McOmie, your host for Travel Oregon's Grant's Getaways. And this week, it's a splendid retreat as we explore one of Oregon's heritage rivers where the past is kept alive through unique outdoor recreation. Come on along as we step aboard the All-Oregon Boat with a fishing guide whose family has made drift boating famous along Oregon's McKenzie River. When you fish with a legend, you know you're in good hands.
It's been a long winter. Been very cold.
Prince Helfrich is part of a legendary Oregon family who made drift boating popular recreation on Oregon's rivers and streams.
I think most people come here for just to be fishing and not necessarily to be catching, just to get away from the city, recharge your batteries.
He's third-generation descendant of Prince Helfrich, the dean of Oregon drift boating. How do you learn to row this river, Aaron?
Trial and error. I think you learn something almost every day you're out here.
Aaron's grandfather helped design and test the All-Oregon boat that most modern-day anglers take for granted. The old family movies show the prince in his prime in 1931, rowing drift boats down rivers that had never seen the likes before.
He really enjoyed exploring. Once they came up with the design of the boat, he was one of the people that decided, let's go put it in rivers in British Columbia, the Middle Fork of the Salmon in Idaho. He was the first one down the Rogue River, John Day River. And a lot of those rivers, the locals will say, you're not going to make it, you're not going to make it, but they didn't realize what these drift boats can do.
What they did had never been done, bobbing along some of the biggest, most treacherous rapids Oregon rivers offer.
He would take them out and find out if we row it backwards, it rows better. Tilt the sides out more, it's drier. It's easier to hold back with the more rake you have in the bottom of the boat.
So these guys were learning as they went down these rivers.
Yeah, it didn't come out perfect the first time.
There he's throwing his boat around. He bumped the rock a little bit, but he's through. He made it fine.
In fact, this KGW TV program called Down the Wild Owyhee was shot in the early 60s.
On this trip, I'll be head guide.
And shows Prince Helfrich taking soon-to-be Oregon Governor Bob Straub down the rugged and remote Owyhee River in southeast Oregon.
Most of these trips are taken by McKenzie River boats. This is a high-sided plywood boat that's been developed on the McKenzie. We take them all over the West.
Prince Helfrich made running rivers look easy, and soon the boat caught on and allowed hundreds the chance to ride over rapids, skip past boulders, and leave all their troubles behind.
I think Prince Helfrich obviously is the one we need to thank for getting his foot in the door, and he was a prolific rider and people read about the river, and I think it brought more people to the area. And then just each generation, all of his sons picked up the business and have been in it their entire lives.
Today, Aaron is one of a dozen Helfriches guiding on the McKenzie River. He takes anglers and sightseers alike down a river where it's never been a matter of finding enough to see, but finding enough time to see it all. Starting near the headwaters at Sahali and Coosa Falls. Right now, they're filled to the brim and ready for you to stop in and enjoy breathtaking views.
They're easy to access, so anybody can see them. And the water just comes shooting out like a fire hydrant. It's this huge, big wall of water any time of year. And then there's a great path that you can walk from Sahali down to Coosa Falls. It's a little wider at Coosa and it's a little deeper, so you don't have quite the same drop-off that you have at Sahali Falls. Not even 5 minutes from your car to the falls.
If you're looking for a campsite to call your own, not a problem. There are 14 Forest Service campgrounds along the McKenzie River. There is no shortage of parklands or campgrounds along the McKenzie River, and we're in one of my favorite. It's Delta Campground, a U.S. Forest Service campground, and I love it because of this trail. It's the Old Growth or Ancient Forest Trail, and it has scores of big old Doug fir trees like this one, many of them over 500 years old. Another stop that's sure to please is the Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife's Leaburg Hatchery, where trophy-sized rainbow trout are always on the bite. especially with a fistful of fish food. It really stirs up a storm. Meanwhile, back on the river.
I like to dry fly fish, although you can catch them on anything. This section we're in now, you could catch fish on night crawlers, eggs, spinners.
Aaron Helfrich says the best time is yet to come for anglers willing to put in their time on the McKenzie River, from now through summer.
This is my office, you can't beat it. And if the fish are biting, great. If they're not, it's still great to be out here. It's a great place to be.
The McKenzie River is certainly home to fishing and camping, but also hiking and mountain biking, whitewater rafting and kayaking. It's all available. And we have details, directions, and contact information right here on the Travel Oregon website, so check it out. So until next week, get out here and explore the great Oregon outdoors and let Travel Oregon be your guide. For Travel Oregon, I'm Grant McOmie.